Hello, welcome to Biography TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Biography of Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama. Almost everything attached to Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama has an historical background. He originated from a royal family with history. His love life with an English clerk at the Lloyd's of London office has an undertone to the historical apartheid uproar in his hometown and Southern Africa. Interestingly, even his name, Seretse, stands for reconciliation, an unforgettable experience between his father and grandfather. Seretse Khama also enjoyed royal recognition home and abroad. Born in a royal family, his good work still earned him a royal appointment as officer in the Order of the British Empire in 1961. By 1966, he also received the Most Honorable Royal Order, Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire. So in the beginning, Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri was born in Seretse, Bechuanaland, on the 1st of July 1921 into a royal family. His father, Tshekedi Khama II, was the paramount chief of the Bamangwato people, and his mother was the Queen of Tebogo, Bechuanaland Protectorate, now known as Botswana. Seretse was 4 years of age when his father died in 1925, which led him to the throne under the guidance of his uncle, Tshekedi Khama. However, he spent his early years at the Tiger Kloof Educational Institute in South Africa before he moved to Eastern Cape's Fort Hare University College, where he graduated as a Bachelor of Arts in 1944. Afterwards, he traveled to the United Kingdom to further his study at Oxford Balliol College for a year. He then joined the Honourable Society of the Inner Temple, one of the Inns of the Court in London, where he finally became a barrister in 1946. Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama ironically bridged the gap between the British and the natives of Bechuanaland through his interracial marriage with Ruth Williams in 1947. As he roamed through the streets of London, he met a British woman, Ruth Williams, whom he later got married to in 1948. The interracial marriage sparked racial controversies in his hometown. The chiefs of Bamangwato were disappointed in Seretse, who was accused of marrying a foreigner instead of a native woman from Bechuanaland. So his uncle, Tshekedi Khama, alongside the elders of Bamangwato, asked him to return home and annul the marriage. He did return home, but refused to divorce his wife. Just as the name Seretse implies, the clay that binds, we can recall the fight between his father and grandfather, Gosi, that is the king, way back before Seretse was given birth to. But in between, he was born at a time of reconciliation, a period when his father and grandfather ended their rift and reconciled. In 1949, he was eventually reinstated as the king to reclaim his throne before traveling back to London to complete his course. Love is not only beautiful but also very powerful, as it became official in January 2020 that Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties and were stripped of their royal titles to become private citizens. Well, that's not a new thing, as something similar also happened in 1956, when Seretse will rather denounce his throne than divorce his wife. So, he was able to go back to Bechuanaland with his wife as private citizens. Then, Seretse, who had lost his royal birthright and every other benefit that came with it, began to taste life from a different pot as he became a cattle rancher for a short period. He then got involved in local politics, found his feet, and was elected the Secretary of the Tribal Council in 1957. In 1961, a period when the nation was gearing up for self-governance, he established the Bechuanaland Democratic Party, BDP. He soon grounded his parley with the British Empire, which gave him a credible edge before the independence-minded electorate. 4 years later, the Bechuanaland Democratic Party (BDP) swept aside the socialist and Pan-Africanist rivals to dominate the 1965 general elections. Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama became the first Prime Minister of Bechuanaland in 1965. He relentlessly continued his struggle for the country's independence. Subsequently, a new constitution was formed which began to recognize Bechuanaland as the Republic of Botswana, and finally independence came on the 30th of September 1966, when Seretse eventually became the first president of Botswana. Sir Seretse Khama's first stint in office as president wasn't rosy at all, as Botswana ranked the third poorest country in the world in 1966 with little or no infrastructure to depend on, a country that could only boast of just 23 university graduates and 100 secondary school leavers. However, Seretse was born into this system, so he knew the problem well enough and definitely proved himself worthy, as he was able to prescribe economic solutions to transform the nation from being a country with no economic identity to becoming one of the fastest growing economies in the world. He called together foreign experts to create a productive economy around copper extraction and diamond production. He also adopted market-friendly policies to attract foreign buyers. During this period, he transformed the civil service to become more efficient and corrupt-free, where staff and workers were promoted and hired on merit. More so, he established mining industries, agriculture, promoted tourist sites, and reformed the foreign policy. Throughout his stay in power, Botswana experienced massive economic growth, which was primarily enhanced by diamond mining, and the government was positioned to gain a greater percentage of its revenue. The customs union between Botswana and South Africa was renegotiated in 1969 as the government of Botswana secured a greater share of the mining revenue. By 1975, the Botswana government smartly entered into another agreement to guarantee herself 50% of the diamond mining revenues. So, between 1975 and 1980, Botswana could boast of surplus in budget. In 1979, when all was becoming calm and smooth for Botswana, the man Seretse played his last reconciliation role to negotiate the end of the Rhodesian Civil War on the 12th of December 1979, which resulted to the creation and independence of Zimbabwe, and also to birth the Southern African Development Coordination Conference. Sir Seretse Khama's health began to fail since 1960, when he was diagnosed with diabetes. Later underwent heart cancer treatment in 1976 and was diagnosed of pancreatic cancer in 1980, when he finally gave up the ghost at the age of 59 years. His vice, Masire, succeeded him as president. Oh dear, just when anyone must have thought we've come to the end of Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama's history, hey, there's more to it. In 1984, Botswana International Main Airport began to operate and was named after Sir Seretse Goitsebeng Maphiri Khama. Interestingly, 28 years after his death, his son, Ian Khama, succeeded Festus Mogae as the fourth president of Botswana in 2009, the same year a younger son, Tshekedi Khama II, was elected into the parliament, representing his father's hometown, Serowe Northwest. Ian Khama left office with medals under his belt in 2018. What have we missed out of this biography of Sir Seretse Khama? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.